It's no secret how much our sporting heroes rake in these days. We know that footballers and basketball players are amongst the top earners when it comes to any sport, but do you know how much the Wimbledon 2021 prize money is? Today, we're finding out what the winners actually earn. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. So, how much is really up for grabs at each stage of the tournament? We are asking the awkward questions so you don't have to. The Wimbledon champions made an impressive comeback last Monday after a one-year hiatus. Canceled in 2020 because of the global pandemic, here's what you need to know about the championship All England Club. Let's get straight into it. The total prize money for winning the championship currently sits at £35,016,000. The singles champion will get £1,700,000, working out at approximately $2.4 million. There is a points-based system which is unique to Wimbledon, with 2,000 points earning you the top singles prize. Wimbledon is the oldest tennis tournament in the world, harking all the way back to 1877 on the croquet lawns of the All England Croquet and Lawn Tennis Club. 1884 saw the introduction of a women's championship, with the national men's doubles being transferred at the same time. 22 men entered the tournament on Warple Road, Wimbledon for the first time. More than 200 onlookers witnessed the history in the making, watching on as Spencer Gore became the first ever champion. According to Wimbledon.com, prize money wasn't introduced until the late 1960s. It was in 1968 that Australian sporting legend Rod Laver took the men's singles championship with a grand prize of £2,000. Adjusted for inflation, that's just over £30,000 in today's money. That's not bad at all. In the years that followed, Wimbledon was able to expand, and in 1884 it sought to include competitors for men's doubles and ladies singles. However, the ladies' own championships would not be allowed to take place until the men's singles had finished. It was a struggle to even have women play at first, with the idea being politely rejected on numerous occasions before 1884. The first prize for the ladies' tournament was a silver flower basket valued at 20 guineas, which attracted more than 10 players competing for the championship. The lineup included sisters Maud and Lillian Watson, who ended up contesting the final. 19-year-old Maud won in all three sets, and we're just as proud of her today as her original fans must have been over 100 years ago. Crowds of more than 3,000 people would regularly gather inside the grounds, anxiously waiting for the games to start. This was one of the first instances of a sporting celebrity, and the culture only served to gain in popularity in the years to come. The £35 million prize money is a reduction of 7.85% compared to the $38 million won by Serbia's Novak Djokovic. He's no stranger to winning, with an estimated tennis fortune of over $150 million, not including sponsorship deals and endorsements. Whilst the grand prize has seen a significant reduction of around 27.66% compared to the previous year, the smaller middle round prizes have bucked the trend and actually risen. The effort was introduced to support players who aren't as financially sound. A 5 to 20% rise in pay means that even the losers will be financially compensated for their efforts, and when compared to previous years, it's a major improvement. As we mentioned earlier, the 2020 games were the first to be canceled in over 100 years. The Wimbledon executives came to a unanimous decision to make compensatory payments to athletes totaling around £10 million. The payout was covered by the AELTC pandemic insurance and paid over 600 athletes who were supposed to take part in the 2020 championships. Players received one payment each, with the money being distributed as follows: £25,000 for the 256 players in the singles main draws, £12,500 for the 224 players in singles qualifying, £6,250 for the 120 players in main draw doubles, £6,000 for the 16 players in the wheelchair events, £5,000 for 4 players in the quad wheelchair events. It was a positive gesture from Wimbledon to distribute some of the prize money this way, and kudos to them for having the foresight to purchase pandemic insurance. It's no surprise that Wimbledon was well prepared pre-pandemic, having signed the insurance deal that paid out over $135 million in compensation. It's only good practice that a world-renowned tennis tournament would have protocols in place in case of unforeseen circumstances, but there's still a way to go, and organizers are having to react to the effects of COVID-19 with capacity restrictions firmly in place. The event organizers are only able to sell a limited number of seats, along with setting up a substantial testing program for everyone involved in the tournament, as well as on-site medical help for fans. Let us know in the comments section below and tell us whether you agree with the compensation handouts the players received. Do you think that money could have been better spent elsewhere? With Wimbledon celebrating its 144th anniversary, we wanted to find out how it compares to other world-class tennis tournaments. In 2017, the prize money increased by a record-breaking 12.5%, taking the total pot to a record $41 million. However, the U.S. Open remains the highest-paying tennis Grand Slam in the world. Prize money is expected to be over $50 million this year, with endorsements and deals for top athletes set to double in the coming months. Historically, women have always earned less than their male counterparts. The All England Club made the decision back in 2007 to award the same prize money for both male and female players. It was the last major institution to do so, echoing other Grand Slam tournaments around the world. They used the points-based system as an excuse, saying that men and women excelled in different set counts, with men at 5 and women at 3, sparking immense debate within the tennis community. Some argued that men exceeded more energy per match and provided greater sponsorship opportunities for the tournament before the obscene rule was rightfully scrapped. Sponsorship, advertising, and media play a huge role in growing the exposure of any one player. These figures are predicted to grow exponentially in the near future. There's been noticeable growth in third-party endorsements too, with stars such as Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova pulling in way more than they make playing in tournaments. We think it's very possible that prize money for the women's draw could eclipse what men get sooner than you might expect. Having addressed the gender pay gap issues, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The average tennis player earned somewhere in the means of $113,000 annually in winnings between 2015 and 2019. Standalone salaries topped almost $14.5 million, with fewer higher-ranking players making a substantially lower amount, somewhere in the means of $1,126 annually. On the other hand, a professional tennis coach that accompanies the player might receive a basic salary in the range of $39,000 to $144,000 per year. Pay for doubles winners has substantially risen when compared to 2019. The winning pairs for men's and women's doubles will get $1,107,840 this year, a bigger payout compared to 2019's $682,000. The mixed doubles winners will get $138,480 per pair. What about the players who lost in the qualifying rounds? How much will they earn? Well, it's actually good news for this group, as the prize money has gone up by 4% from 2019. For example, British champion Andy Murray received £115,000, up from $110,000 the year previous. It's also good news for fellow Brit Emma Raducanu, who was knocked out in the fourth round after an electrifying performance citing breathing difficulties. She earned £5,000 more than she would have the year previous if she was knocked out in the same round. Rightfully so. Payments for the players who lost out during the qualifying rounds is up a massive 17%. It's a cross-platform effort to narrow the inequality gap between Wimbledon prize winners and early dropouts. Similar moves were made by the French Open and ATP finals. Some of the lower-ranked players incur huge costs just competing in worldwide tournaments. The costs associated with competing are unequal to what they are paid, and this is a small step to bridge that gap. Wimbledon supervisors have paid for the accommodation costs this year, further easing the burden of the COVID-19 pandemic, providing the athletes with a safe space whilst they compete. This move to equal the pay gap globally between lower-ranked players is welcome, enabling more equality throughout the sport in general. Anyone who possesses the ability and skill to play can now compete, doing so with financial confidence. So what do you think about how much your favorite tennis stars earn? Do you think that Wimbledon has done enough to bridge the gender pay gap? How about the lower-ranked players? Do you think they received enough support from the tennis industry to be able to compete equally at tournaments? Please let us know your thoughts in comments below. Help us to start a positive conversation and address the issues that affect us all. And with that, it wraps up the video. Thanks for watching.